Today is July 25th. The Yankees have 2 games coming up against the Mets. We bantered with Boone a little bit and have some sharp stats to discuss. Let's do it. Let's talk Yanks.
Talking Yanks with old John Boy, Jake. Recaps galore, weekly awards, stat lines, theme, and hot takes. Get your Yankees news from these two fine dudes. It's time for Talking Yanks. Talking Yanks with old John Boy, and Jake. Talking Yanks with old John Boy, and Jake.
Hello and welcome to Talkin' Yanks, episode number 936. Wow, brought to you by SeatGeek. My name is Jimmy, his name is Jake, and BBD is in the corner. I'm in studio today, Jake. I am home alone as Katie and the kids are down the shore still with the entire family, which means I have to cook and provide for myself, which means I will be eating a lot of Factor meals because my fridge is stocked. They're one of our sponsors today. If you are busy running around trying to enjoy the long days of summer and not bog yourself down cooking, but also don't want to order and be unhealthy, Factor is exactly what you're looking for. America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit. You can pop it in the microwave. You can pop it in the oven. I'm an oven over microwave person.
Yeah, I was going to say, you don't even really have to cook. It's just insert.
Yeah.
Well, you have to poke the holes. I've been poking the holes.
Yes, yeah. They got a lot of different meals. I have been enjoying it because it is really easy, especially with 2 in diapers, the way that we've been living right now, and being a little solo this week. So I'm definitely going to be eating Factor. You guys should try it as well. Head to factormeals.com/Yanks50 and use code Yanks50 to get 50% off. Damn. That's code Yanks50 at factormeals.com/Yanks50 to get 50% off. Jake, how goes it? How are you doing?
James Davis, hoping we have a Yankee who's an X factor in this weird 2-gamer with the Mets. Boy, would I really like a win tonight. I'll be in the stadium.
Oh, you are going?
Teaser. I'm going.
I was debating going tonight.
Going with some of Jess's friends, so
nice.
I couldn't go with you. But I'm, yeah, man. I mean, we're in this pivot point. Like if the Yankees win tonight, it's 4 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Like a weird 2-game set, that final game against the Mets, if you lose, isn't going to feel good. But you say, well, it's a 2-game set. We won 4 games. Like we continue to check that box. Let's keep going. If they can set themselves up for a little Subway Series 2-game sweep, and Rodon is on the mound, coming off the kiss incident. The
kiss incident.
Like, that'd be 5 in a row. Rodon could redeem it. Like, it could actually build towards something, and yet, at the same time, I think every Yankee fan is living horrified because one wrong pitch or one wrong thing goes the other way, and this team is still in a tight spot. So hopefully the Rizzo stuff is real. Hopefully a DJ or Stanton has clicked, but yeah, I mean, it's going to be a little bit of a pressure cooker in the boogie down tonight.
They did get swept by the Mets in Citi Field last year. One of the walk-offs, the whole whistle gate chirping stuff, it was a wild scene. So let's sweep them at home.
In Citi.
Yeah, in Citi Field. Yeah, we were at one of the games.
Yeah.
It sucked.
Yep.
I didn't like it.
Mm-mm.
Let's see what Katie Sharp has for us today. The sharpest of stats. It says quick innings on the computer or the monitor in front of us. So I'm guessing it's about how the Yankees just go down 1, 2, 3 all the time.
Ooh.
Ugh. Is that it?
Hey guys, it is the Queen of Stats, and I am back. Yes, after a little quick vacation. Maybe I should go on vacation more because the Yankees are coming off a sweep of the Royals. But don't get too fooled by this outburst because we really do need to see them perform against some good teams, actually. And one thing that I want to focus on today is it goes back to when Sean Casey was hired, and he talked about the Yankees' propensity for droughts and quick outs in the innings, and so these quick innings. So what I did is I looked at 1, 2, 3 innings. So that's 3 batters come to the plate and then 3 batters make outs. So if if you have a double play, if guy gets on base and there's a double play, that doesn't count as a 1-2-3 inning. This is just 1, 2, 3. One batter, two batters, three batters, and outs. So the Yankees this season, they have the 5th most 1-2-3 innings. Obviously, that is not good. They are behind the Royals, the White Sox, the A's, and the Tigers. This is kind of just putting some stats to what we see on the field. So yes, they have the 5th most 1-2-3 innings in the majors this year. Last year, obviously a different story. They have the 9th fewest. And then, Casey talked a lot about these quick innings in terms of pitches. So I looked at the number of innings that the Yankees have with 7 pitches where they saw 7 pitches or fewer. They have the 5th most of those as well. You look at 6 pitches or fewer innings. They have the 4th most, and we're getting into smaller sample sizes, but if you look at innings with 5 pitches or fewer, they are tied for the 2nd most. So that is obviously clearly a problem. Sean Casey was right to diagnose it when he was introduced and he had his introductory press conference. This is a problem that probably needs to be fixed by the Yankees, and what it has led to, and this is the most startling stat, and this has been around Twitter a lot, and seems to come up a lot, is that the Yankees have by far the most games by an opposing starter who went at least 7 innings. Yeah. They have 24 of those this season, which is 5 more than the second place team, which is the A's. And last year, just for context, they had the 4th fewest. They had only 18 during the regular season. So there you go. Just some numbers to what we are seeing on the field. And, I want to see them perform against some better teams. And they've got some tough competition coming up this week and next week. So we'll see if they're able to turn this around. Thanks, guys.
Shit. I mean,
Sharp Stats are brought to you by ppv.com. Wow. Big fight this weekend. Spence Crawford, our Dan Canobio, and Chris Algieri will be there. And if you go to ppv.com and get the fight, and this is one of the big ones, boxing, it comes in, it comes in droves. I was going to compare it to the Yankees offense, but no need. This is one of the big fights this year, and if you get it on ppv.com, you can interact with our Dan Canobio and Chris Algieri and legendary boxing writer Lance Pugmire.
Pugmire.
Yes. So, you guys know the name, but ppv.com is the most convenient, reliable, and engaging way to stream pay-per-view events. No subscription required ever. You can download the ppv.com app to all your favorite devices. Watch your computer, phone, TV, wherever you're going to watch it. You're going to want the big screen for this one. This is one of the big ones. So go click the link in the description and order Spence Crawford on ppv.com right now. Sharp Stats.
Sharp Stats. You knew that you kind of knew all of this. You just didn't know in the context of that. I don't know what's more worrisome for you, the 1-2-3 innings, 5th most, or the 7 pitchers or fewer 5th most, because that's both worlds.
Yes. It's, I mean, they're kind of connected, right? Like if you're having a 7-pitch inning, it's got to be 1-2-3 more or less. No, I don't think it's shocking. I think, and to quote the queen of stats, KT Sharp, it's the Oakland A's and then AL Central teams, which basically don't count. So you're basically the worst team at having long innings, or not having short innings. And yeah, that's daunting. That's really daunting. I even tried to go into Gleyber's stats to see, because, he's been our most notorious first pitch swinger this year, yet he's been our most consistent hitter through the year. And when he swings at the first pitch, his at-bats have good numbers because, if you connect enough. But even in those at-bats, it's a 307 on-base percentage. So, the slugging is 521, so when he's connecting, it's big. But, yeah, I mean, it clearly feels like part of either Dylan Lawson's philosophy or clearly the organization bought into it, was to go get your pitch and hunt it out. Don't wait. Don't get to 2 strikes. That's where you get in trouble. And it seems to have backfired tremendously because a lot of at-bats are won. And, a couple of these recent Yankee teams even, it always felt like Judge was 3-2. It felt like Rizzo started working counts. It was like, and if you win those pivot pitches, that's how you can break an inning open. That's how you can break a pitcher. Because if you're throwing that many balls, if you win 2 3-2 pitches, say it's Judge and Rizzo coming up, that could be 12 pitches and nobody out. And it just feels like we haven't put ourselves, and that's when you knock the starting pitcher out. That's when you ruin their bullpen for the series. And have we said that in a series recap at all? Like, man, we ruined their bullpen.
No. And over a series, like, I don't know how much.
Matters.
I don't know how much it is of this anymore, but it used to be very important. And it certainly is with teams. We've seen it play the Yankees where it used all their bullpen.
How often have we talked about the Yankees using? They kind of have 3 guys they believe in the bullpen now, 4. That
if you use them game 1,
right? There's a chance they could be out if you use them in the first 2 games. And we've just never been looking at the other side of the coin and been like, oh well.
And that's so big in playoff series.
Yeah.
I'm looking up some stats here to see if there's been any help here or difference in the short time with Sean Casey. So I'm looking at first time through the order, before Casey and after Casey. So the first time through the batting order, the average amount of pitches the starting pitcher threw was 34 through the first time through the order. So that doesn't mean the first 3 innings, because they could have had an offensive. They could have get people on, so it could be 2 or whatever. Just everyone's first at bat of the game for the
everyone's
Yankees.
First at bat. Since
the break, in the 8 games or whatever it's been, 9, it's a 337.2. So it's going up.
Okay.
That's with one really, really bad one against Connor Siebold. But the Royal Series was good. It was 39, 48, 36. Now I wanted to look at first 2 times through the order, give them the benefit of the doubt that, the first time you're still seeing everything. And I'm calculating this now. It's slightly better. 53 pitches first 2 times through versus starting pitchers. 56 the next couple times.
Yeah, I guess if I'm doing half glass full, half glass empty, this is something that in a way can be addressed. Like, I don't know, just talking about patience at the plate and,
fouling off pitches.
Yeah, trying to, having an approach of I'm going to work the count and, if I don't get the pitch I'm looking for in that first pitch, let's draw out the at bat and, pitchers bounce pitches and stuff. The Yankees are seeing a ton of breaking balls recently. Like, extend the at bat because then you might get another mistake or they could walk you. So you'd love to see more of that. I guess the scary thing as you're talking about coming out of the break, a reminder, some of these Colorado and Kansas City pitchers that we saw are guys that were listed as some of the worst starting pitchers in baseball.
The Royals were a tough watch.
I mean, the guys who pitched for the Rockies, in theory, were in the same boat as some of those Royals pitchers.
Royals just threw so many breaking balls. They're just so far off the plate.
Yeah. And that's where I'm going to, spin things scary. Coming up for the Yanks, Verlander, Quintana. It looks like they're getting top prospect Grayson Rodriguez with the Orioles. Wells and Kramer, who have been very solid for Baltimore. And then it's Glasnow, Eflin, McClanahan, and I think Hunter Brown with the Astros after that. So, we just came through a stretch that was supposed to be our easy starting pitching we were facing. And, we ended up getting results against the Royals at the end. But, those were also kind of close games, too, and Singer was good. So, I don't know. It's where those nerves kick in, and you hope in 3 days or in a week we're talking about, wow, the Yankees did it against starting pitching. They did it against good starting pitching, and they really opened up the door back into this 23 season. Or, I don't want to do a sad sharp stats next week.
Well, Justin Verlander, looking at his first time through a batting lineup, the most pitches he's ever thrown this season, first time through, was 56 pitches against the Yankees.
Yeah. They were good at bats. There's just no result.
His last 3 games, 22 pitches. I don't know who that was against. And then 43 and then 23. That was Padres, Dodgers, White Sox. So that adds up.
Little flashback, Talkin Yanks pregame show. I need the Yankees to either score double-digit runs off Verlander. Not double-digit, excuse me.
My goodness.
Multiple runs off Verlander in the first. Or a Rizzo homer. So it's either a solo Rizzo homer or multiple runs in the first.
How many games have the Yankees scored multiple runs?
I mean, that first Sean Casey game, obviously, when he fixed the offense.
I have the answer. It's 9.
All year?
Yeah.
That seemed good.
Oakland, Seattle, San Diego, Oakland, Cleveland, Minnesota.
So 5 of those games against Oakland.
9 and 5 against Oakland. So non-Oakland, Minnesota against Maeda, Cleveland against Gaddis, and then Darvish. They got him, or maybe the bullpen. I forget. Miller, that game versus Seattle. Gilbert versus Seattle, and that's all. So
that's not good.
First innings historically when
That's
the most
awful.
runs get scored. So
Seattle.
Bryce Miller, you had lineup.
How's he been doing?
That guy he bounced back a little bit recently. That Cleveland guy, remember, we both walked away like that guy had.
Yeah.
So that's 2 rookies.
Yeah.
Then 5 Oakland starts.
Yep.
So they've gotten to Logan Gilbert, Yu Darvish.
Yeah, I don't even know in that Darvish start, they did get Darvish, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember now.
So they've gotten to Logan Gilbert, Yu Darvish. Otherwise, it was an Oakland A or 2 rookies. I'm missing 1 start.
Maeda.
Okay.
Maeda, they get 10 earned on Maeda, yeah.
That's crazy.
And that was, I think they were like, it wasn't all home runs. I think that was the game where like they just kind of hit. And it was fun.
Maeda?
Yeah.
Well, it was in Minnesota, right?
Yes, it was.
So there's kind of no rules there.
Gleyber double, Willie Calhoun single, IKF single, Oswaldo Cabrera walk, Volpe single, Judge double. Judge caught stealing to end. Yeah. And then single, double in the 4th inning, double. And then Gleyber did homer in the 4th to make it, to put the 10th and 11th runs up.
Getaway to not get swept. Wait, that wasn't in the 1st inning. That was in the 2nd inning.
Maybe I did we weren't on the same page for the whole time. I was doing 10 runs or more scored, double digit.
Yeah,
you just
I
want
thought that
multiple
instantly.
runs.
Yeah.
Multiple runs in the 1st inning is going to be a lot more than that.
Okay, that's where we were disconnected.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't even know how to find that, though. It's not
Okay.
as hard. Yeah, I was just doing 10 runs or more. Sorry.
Gotcha.
When you said double digit, and I was like, that's a crazy ask. I don't think they've done that all season.
Yeah, that's why I got off that instantly, and we were laughing. Okay. Well, let's laugh with Boone a little bit, because you guys know Bantering with Boone at noon is brought to you by Vizio. Has been, will be, because Vizio has award-winning TVs and soundbars at insane prices. 4K screens under $500. And Vizio, they're with baseball. Vizio's Watch Free Plus offers MLB Network totally for free right out of the box. Plug and play. And you can cast games from your phone, tablet, laptop, the big screen via Chromecast or Apple AirPlay. Vizio is the MVP. Value. Most valuable player of value itself. So head over to Vizio.com. Check out how you can elevate your viewing experience all season long. Whatever your budget or size of your home, Vizio has you covered with the perfect TV and soundbar combo. Click the link in the description. Let's banter.
Welcome. Well, hi, Boone. How are you? Bantering with Boone. It comes in the middle of the episode, so a big intro.
Boone at noon today.
Boone at noon. Wow.
Noon.
Do your family ever use that for lunchtime or something like that?
No, Boone at noon. I like it.
Okay. Coming off a sweep of the Royals, which is, you needed that, obviously, because the other thing would have hurt. But I am interested how we go from here with Mets, and then you have a nice stretch. So I think today we're going to try and keep our conversations more forward-looking. You got a lot of change on the roster before this and during this Royals series with injuries and guys coming back and flipping. The whole bench kind of got flipped. So we're interested in a lot of moving pieces there, but I'll give you a couple seconds or a minute on the clock to tell us about the Royal series and how good everything went. You like it?
I like that. Look, anytime you can get a sweep, obviously that's big. And then when it on top of what we've been going through recently. So good to get that, good to get that third one and finish it off. Made for a little bit better of an off day for everyone. And, now we, got a couple more games on the homestand, and like you said, into a tough stretch, and hopefully continue to get some pieces back.
And we'll check a box real quick. Gleyber Torres is fine. You took him out for precautionary reasons. That play was funky, but Gleyber's great.
Yeah. I didn't take him out for precautionary reasons. He had to come out of the game, but okay. Yeah, he was better after the game. I actually, when I was sending the lineup out last night, I checked with him, make sure he's good, and he gave me I'm good, ready to go. So back in there today, and I don't think it was anything too serious.
Cool. That's good.
Yeah, that's great. Judge and Lowe, are they just going to keep barnstorming stadiums, putting on their own show, or is there a next step?
Judge is in Tampa, so he's doing stuff today. I'm not sure. It's all kind of tolerance based. So whether, live, getting out in the, sim stuff, I'll get the report more at the end of the day, but he's down there today. Loaisiga's heading there tonight. He'll throw tomorrow against Judge too. He'll have I think a 2-up sim, and then in ahead of his rehab start on the weekend.
Rivalry matchup.
Yeah.
Judge and Loaisiga. They're just seeing each other all the time.
Yeah, the good thing for Aaron is it doesn't get any tougher than that. It ain't going to get – it only gets easier from having to face right-on-right Loaisiga, and Lowe looks great right now. He's throwing the ball real – he looked like playoff Lowe just the other day in his live to Aaron. So he continues to make good strides.
Is there – with the tough stretch coming up, is there any kind of – not pressure, but any desire or want to have him start one of these series, start Baltimore, start Houston, kick off
Loaisiga?
No, Judge. Well, you can tell me about Loaisiga as well, but more so Judge.
Oh, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how these next days go, if he's at a point to where that's in play or not. But that's I don't know. We'll get the report today and see where we're at.
For the again, kind of what's coming up. Leadoff hitter, Royal Series. We saw a different leadoff hitter every day. Is that just? I guess how are you guys looking at it? Is it open competition? If someone gets hot in that one spot, they can lock it down. Are you guys going to try to play the matchup kind of every day, or what are you seeing for the leadoff spot coming up?
Well, we got Bowers back the second day, so or the third day.
Third. McKinney was the second. Peraza, McKinney Bowers.
Yeah. So, and just depending on the matchup, and we had a couple pretty heavy righty split guys, so I wanted to make sure we had the first 2 days anyway, a good amount of lefties in there, and then just it's basically splitting them up. 1-4-7, 3-6-9. If I have 3, that's usually kind of how I try, and 2-5-8. I try and kind of do it like that. Doesn't always work out that way, but and then just depending, you got Verlander tonight, who's actually about dead neutral. So similar lineup tonight with 3 lefties.
So Bowers, Gleyber, Stanton, Rizzo is your opening 4
Yes.
there?
Yes.
All right. Okay. With the catching situation, Trevino goes down. It's a little, I guess, can you just walk us through your end? Because, I mean, 5 weeks later, 5 days earlier, you told us Higgy caught 2 in a row, and you say Trevy's fine. He's not injured or banged up. I don't know at that point if you know he's fine or know he's healing or working on stuff. And I appreciate and understand that part of your job is protecting these guys and not outing, oh, yeah, he's playing hurt right now, and then everyone yells at them. But a couple times now we've had a player say, yeah, I was hurt at the start of the season. I thought I could play through it. I realized I wasn't helping the team, so I'm out. And as fans, it's like, man, I really love and appreciate that you want to do that, but I don't know if that's the best case of helping the team. How does this play out? Like, when were you guys aware he's battling something? When are you aware that he's deciding it's too bad to keep going forward?
Yeah, we've been aware for really a while. He's been playing with it. And the reality is that's Jose Trevino, and he was all the way till the end helping us. Like, I mean, he's arguably the best catcher in the league, and still was holding his own enough offensively. Now, in the recent couple of weeks, there was more, man, today it's not great, next day it is. But I was never sitting him necessarily. Like, yes, he was not what he normally is because he's banged up, but there was never a day that I was sitting him because, like, oh, he can't go today. It was just, kind of playing through some pain. And, but it had gotten to the point where it was just more bad days, more, waking up with soreness every day. And he's got that tear in there, so it's got to get fixed. But, all doctor said is he can play with it as long as he can tolerate it because it's already torn. So, and he was, still holding his own very much.
So Rortvedt comes up, and now what does the catching situation look like? Is Rortvedt going to get Cole starts? Is that going to be priority one, or is it going to be a true platoon split, or does Higgy kind of get majority here?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I just kind of day by day with it, he'll play a lot, Benny's going to play, have a lot of confidence in him. It was great that, he came up and caught Garrett, and that went well. And, even to get with Garrett afterwards, I think he really enjoyed throwing to him. But, that said, Higgy can catch him too. So yeah, there'll be maybe pick a day, tough righty on the hill, get Ben in there. Just kind of go with it day by day. Obviously, day games after night games affect catcher, but there'll be a little bit of a shared role there.
You always remember your first. Did you guys have to prep Rortvedt at all? Like, intention catching Cole. That's an intense experience. Like, was there you and Higgy kind of pulled him over and were like, hey, like buckle up for this one?
Well, so he got here the day before, so it was good that they got to spend basically the day before kind of game planning and prepping, and more Trevi, our pitching guys, Garrett and Ben just kind of walking through things and going through things. And, I think all in all went pretty well.
You don't have a big bat on the bench right now. So is it the catchers, like, you don't have that Carpenter lefty, pinch hit, explosive at bat guy right now on the roster. So with the catchers being lefty and righty, how much are you willing to pinch hit for each other, or does that come into play? A lot of teams won't use their second catcher because they don't want to be down to having no catcher on the bench if it's, seventh inning and the reliever's in there. Or we've seen you use two. So
yeah.
That doesn't, can you just talk us through that? Some managers won't do that. You don't seem to have a problem using both catchers.
Yeah. Once we get later in the game, yeah, if there's a matchup I like or whatever, then, we're not going to hesitate in that situation. So, yeah, nothing's affected there.
And does IKF, having caught a full season in MLB, like, and having a third catcher that has done that, like your safety catcher has actually done it, is that come into play at all or no?
I guess that helps a little bit. Yes. I mean, not that I necessarily want to throw Izzy back there. But yes, knowing he has been a major league catcher, I guess does give you a little comfort. but frankly, wouldn't change that much in a late game pinch hitting situation either.
You don't want to throw IKF out there just so he can be the guy who played 9 positions. I mean, and like check that off on his list. He goes into the record books if you put him in behind the dish for 1 inning.
Yeah.
First base too. That's easy.
Not necessarily. Although, if we got in that situation, I know he's equipped to handle it. But yeah, I don't want to just do it to do it.
You mentioned Izzy. Greg Allen is also back with the squad, and outfield options between those two guys. IKF has been playing a little bit less recently with different bodies coming in, coming out. Greg Allen is also back. I guess, we get locked into roles a little bit, and I realize there's matchups and flexibility, but I guess what's Greg Allen's current role, and I guess has IKF's role changed at all, or he's kind of just your plug-and-play guy?
Yeah, a little bit. Like tomorrow we got Quintana. IKF will probably play left field for us tomorrow. And IKF his versatility is just so valuable to have in so many ways. I mean, he's done a good job all year in whatever role we've put him in. But having that versatility off the bench where you can plug in the outfield, in the infield, in a pinch running situation. There's certain pitch hitting situations that we really like him in too, whether it's a lefty or whether it's a put a ball in play situation or we need a hit. Like he's really valuable off the bench, but he's also done a good job when he's had opportunities as a starter too. And those will still present themselves in certain situations. But with Bowers and McKinney both being in play now and having done a nice job, they've earned some opportunities, and, to get that third lefty in there sometimes in certain games, I put a value on that.
Will IKF be platooning with them, lefty pitcher? You say this series against the Mets, you're going against a righty.
Yeah,
and then
he'll
lefty.
probably be out there against Quintana. Like I'll probably have, probably just Riz in there against Quintana with Izzy probably in left, and probably play G in the outfield that day and DH one of the infielders. With
Judge coming back eventually, how much does it make you smile thinking about, a late and close game and you could have Greg Allen in left, Bader in center, and Judge in right? That would be nice.
Yes. I think you were asking a little bit about Greg Allen. I mean, he does bring that defensive flexibility of a guy that can truly play all three. He really runs the bases well, gives you a decent at bat too, especially left-handed. So he's just, I think cut out for the role when we're more whole too.
It's the most speed the Yankees have ever had on the bench in the last couple of years. With right now with Peraza, IKF, and Greg Allen on the bench. You also have Bader and Volpe in the starting lineup. Bowers, McKinney can run. So it's a pretty fast team.
Yeah, I mean, I think you probably overstated a couple of those guys on their speed, but
which ones?
Yes, we are
Bowers.
We are. Yeah, Bowers. I wouldn't say runs well. Yeah. Like
okay, well, he's great first steps.
We're much more athletic now than we've been, and that's
when you put Bowers next to Rizzo and Stanton and DJ. Sometimes he looks like a superstar. Stan has the most impressive ability to know himself I've ever seen. Every time there's a ball hit, I'm like, there's no fucking way he's getting there. And then he catches it on his very last step. I just think his clock step to ball math is he's not wasting any energy.
It is good. You're right.
Even on doubles, and there was a video of him going second to home the other day. He was just like, no, I don't need to go any faster for this. Kind of nuts. Knows himself.
Jimmy, I'm going to kick it back to you because I think it's time for your fan fiction a little bit. We'll be back in a second bantering with the boys, but right now I want to talk about your boys. Are they sticking to your thighs right now? Whoa! We're talking underwear. We're talking Tommy John.
That wide summer step.
You see it on the street. Someone takes that gaping step. That's because they're not wearing their Tommy John underwear with cooling solution to your sticky situations. Tommy John, I'm going off the map, people. I had one pair. Wore them on my wedding day. Wore them for special occasions. I just re-upped with this deal they gave us, because at TommyJohn.com/Yanks, you will get 20% off your first order right now. So you know what I did? You know what I did, Jim?
You sure you know what I did?
I ordered 2 of the pairs that I had because I was like, this is a lock. I already like these. But then I went into Jake mode and I was like, what if there's a pair I like more? So I ordered a similar pair. I'm wearing them right now. And I like them. I like them a lot. So, fellas, class it up. Treat yourself. Take care of your downstairs with TommyJohn.com/Yanks. 20% off your first order. Click the link. Let's get back to it.
Oh, yeah. I wrote fan fiction about the Yankees, Casey and Rizzo. So I want you to confirm or deny my theory, or if my fan fiction is better than what actually happened. So Rizzo takes 2 at-bats without his batting gloves on, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have Sean Casey hiding his gloves from him so that he has to square the ball up. Otherwise, it's going to hurt more. And Rizzo doesn't want it to hurt his hands more. And that was Casey's old school, new school method of making sure you square it up. Rizzo goes out there, sans batting gloves, gets his first kind of like legit knock on a high inside fastball, like a really nice swing, and then puts another one up the middle that Witt Jr., I think, kind of slid and robbed. That is maybe a hit in other areas. How true is my fan fiction? Fan nonfiction, maybe?
I think that's fan fiction. I think that's just Riz trying different things.
You think that what is the intention there? Just to switch it up, just to do something different?
Yeah, guys will do that. You know, I could never. I mean, when I played, I never took an at bat without my batting gloves, BP, anything. If you handed me a bat and said, "Hey, what do you think of this?" I would go put my batting gloves on first to feel the bat. So I don't quite understand that, but guys do it and have done it. You know, throughout time, sometimes guys will switch it up and just give them a little bit of different feel with it. And, you know, Riz switched it up.
Is it the equivalent of in Tin Cup when they have Kevin Costner's, he just puts his keys in his other pocket, just like a mental change, like this actually doesn't help? Or is there some physicality of like feeling the bat more, feeling more on top of the ball or something? I don't know.
Probably a little bit of both.
Okay.
Probably a little bit of both.
For the silent treatment, like is there a code word? Does someone yell out like Ambergy, or did like
Judge is the biggest silent treatment fan.
That one you didn't even need to
okay. It was unspoken.
You know? I think it was just everyone was kind of looking at each other. You just kind of knew that was coming. So, but yeah, somebody usually there's almost just like a look and everyone just kind of knows.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Is Casey a bat tape guy? A lot of the guys have this blue bat tape on their bat now. That just because, like, you know, equipment manager bought some cool new tape, or is that something as well?
Yeah, I don't know. You'll have to ask. Okay. I don't think that's a Casey thing. But
I funny if it was. I have a lot of Casey fan fiction going on in my head.
How about maybe give us a Casey fact story so I can get Jimmy off of the fan fiction?
Or who's gravitated towards him the most? Like, has there been a hitter that is just with him and he's with, like, you know, really picking his ear, really utilizing his knowledge and his career and everything he's known?
I think Riz, you know, has definitely gravitated towards him. They had a relationship prior to this. Obviously both really good left-handed hitters. You know, they have a lot in common in that first base. You know, with Riz going through what he's gone through the last couple months, there's been a lot of, you know, kind of behind the scenes work going on with him. So I'll just, you know, for the sake of say Riz and he have probably done a lot together and connected and have a lot of conversations here in these first couple weeks. You know, but that said, I think Case has done a really good job connecting with most of these guys and in short order developing a pretty good relationship.
Rizzo took batting practice with Sean Casey and Nick Swisher. If you took a round of BP with those two, would you walk away thinking you were like God's gift to hitting?
Probably. I probably wouldn't have said anything with those guys. There wouldn't have been a lot of space to.
No, but a lot of compliments flying your way.
A lot of compliments, a lot of confidence, a lot of energy. You know, so you just try and feed off that energy that's in that room.
Sheesh. And Casey went mustache, then shaved it. Was that a little slump buster move of his own, or was he like, I hate having a mustache?
Probably a text from the wife, if I had to guess.
Probably a little bit of both. Like, it's not going so great with this one. Let's mix this up. Plus, I don't know how much I like it on me anyway.
I did a mustache in 2021 when you guys had lost 10 in a row, and then you won 10 in a row. Do you want to do mustache with me?
Oh, wow.
If I'd do a lot for 10 in a row.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, you have to do it first. That's the gamble part.
That's the trick.
Yeah, I know.
Hey,
Any superstitions on the coaching staff? Like if Blake leaves your side when it's the pitching, like, you guys stand in the same spot. Is there any superstition there? Any like, hey, get back, or hey, don't say that?
Not really. Not really.
All right, next time, make up something cool next time.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's all right. I think that's it. Anything else? Trades coming up. At one point, you had said you thought this deadline was looking lackluster. Not you
As
personally, and not Yankees specifically. You just said, like, on the outset, it looked like there wasn't much action. Obviously, right now we're in the middle of like rumor city where there's a ton of talk about stuff that might not happen, which gets exciting for the Yankees. Do you think there's going to be action, and is there a order you like? Is there it seems like more pitchers are on the market than I originally thought. Do you have any things like that happening internally? Like, there's actually more left fielders than we thought available, or actually there's actually
no. I haven't even really. I don't even know how deep our conversations have got. I've kind of left that to Cash in the front office for right now, and kind of trying to handle our business here. I think what seems to be a little bit unique about this deadline is the fluidity of so many teams that are in a buy sell sort of mode.
Yeah.
Could even be doing both, could be trading major leaguers for major leaguers. Like, one team may be today a seller, and 3 days from now they may be buyers, and they're kind of laying groundwork for all of those things. So I think that's the biggest, probably the most interesting thing right now is, when we get down to whatever it is, 4 or 5 days from now what's the lay of the land, and how many guys are actually trading places? Hard to predict right now.
We want to make up a name for these 2 weeks of baseball, because with the expanded wild card, we are in that limbo area of what are you going to do? Like just being honest, if you guys go out there and you get swept by the Royals, I do think that changes what the front office would have done. I would think there's more to done. I don't think by sweeping the Royals, you are officially like, we're full buy. But I don't think if you got swept, it's 100% sell. But I just think on the margins, it makes a difference. So Jake and I are looking up for, we want a name. We want MLB to market this 2 week stretch.
That's a good point.
Make up or shake up the tread.
That's what you guys do. You guys, let's go.
Yeah. Tread line's the best thing we got.
Hunker down and come up with something.
Yeah.
Come up with a couple of different terms that you can throw teams into this bucket, that bucket, that bucket.
I have trivia for you to end this episode. It's really, though, a message.
One quick question.
Okay, one trick question from my trivia.
This is kind of, I was going to say dumb and offbeat, but that's kind of my lane. If Hal's around, do you like stiffen up? Like, I don't know. Just kind of like an honest question. Like the owner's around, I think at a lot of companies. Like
he's at the first game of every series.
If the big boss is around, you kind of stand up a little straighter and that stuff. Do you feel it when he's around?
Yeah. I mean, you definitely.
It's more his sister.
You're aware.
Yeah.
But that said, he's easy to be around too, though, and he's in my office quite a bit, having conversations. And
does he call you Boone? Does he call you Aaron? Does he call you Skip?
My
guess would be Aaron.
Boone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Nice. All right.
I have trivia, which is actually, I'll be just transparent. This is actually me trying to talk to the front office through you on trivia. How many different names, do you think you've penciled into the starting lineup in the left field spot in the last 3 seasons? 2021, 2022, 2023.
seasons?
2021, 2022, 2023. How many different names have started a game in left field for you?
13.
That would be great, but it's 20.
20?
20. So if the front office is listening, I think it would make
How
Boone
many have started?
10. Or
10 what?
games? Are you're trying to find a limit, like
Oh, 5 or more.
5 or more? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So that's where so you got that right. If that's the way your brain was working.
Yeah.
So don't you think it'd be easier if you just kind of had a guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. See? All right. They're listening. Be nice. It's actually been 9 in 20 or 9 in 2021, 9 in 2022, and you're at 9 already in 2023. Different guys. The most started by one player in 1 year is 46 games in the last 3 years.
40. Who was that? Hicks?
Hicks and Gallo. Gallo did it in 2021. Hicks did it in 2022. And it's just so odd because left field at Yankee Stadium is a big field. Gardner was a mainstay. He was starting 100 games there for at the end of his tenure. And
Got used to him.
And when he left, it's just crazy that we haven't had like a left fielder in the stadium. I think if anyone's listening, it would make Boone's job easier. It's a lot of different names.
I'll insert that too. You know.
Okay. All right. Yeah. And we might even get more this year.
We'll see.
More what?
Guys that start in left field.
More than 20. You never know. Stay tuned. Next week.
All right.
Next week will be the first, right?
Let's beat the Mets, huh?
Yes. We'll try to do that.
Second time you're seeing Verlander. So my stats about how the Yankees are better after when they see a guy second time.
Yeah.
Let's do
On
that.
your
I
side.
think you guys had to really get at bats against him last game.
Yeah.
Just
Yes. Hopefully we can carry that into tonight. Let's go get one.
yeah. All right. Thanks, Booney.
All right, guys.
See ya. That was bantering with Boone. We figured that we might have some, tougher, more like non-fun conversations coming up in the future, like the last two were. So we kept it a little lighter, a little forward moving. They swept the Royals. Let's try and be positive about it. Deadline's coming up. We'll see. We'll see. Because they get 2-game swept by the Mets, then the next episode, Dan Jake, might be more pointed.
Pointed's a great word, Jim.
I like that word.
It's a great word.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Of late, they've been doing their job, so
Of
nothing
the
to
last
yell
series.
about.
It's game-
Last series against the Royals.
It's
I was
game
going to
to
say
game.
since the last time we talked to Booney, but the Angels happened. But
Game to game, series for series at a time as we're in tread line season. And I
You
don't
like
know.
that?
It works.
Yeah.
It's.
I like when he
it's-
turns and looks at his calendar.
that got me really good on
I'll
this.
fall in love with tread line when we have Zach or one of our people make like a moving graphic that says trade deadline and then it rearranges the letters and it says tread line.
Yeah. Also, maybe do like a chart of the standings of the teams right out the break, and then after the deadline, and like you see like every time he dramatically turns his head to look at his calendar, I think we should follow suit. Because
I did.
Yeah, Jake did it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't. I should do it because I have a calendar.
Because it looks like he sees a ghost. If you don't, if you watch for the first time,
Yeah.
it looks like he
He
sees
turns
a
so
ghost.
suddenly. He's looking at a calendar. Explain that on one of these apps.
The next 2 games.
Go Yanks. Tell him, Grams.
Go Yankees.
Boom, 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 boom. Da, da, do, do,
Get a big
do.
calendar.
Send a picture of the calendar.
Send us your calendar.